I want you to pass that by Chris, what you said about Trump and Hillary. Actually, these two stories playing off of each other.
Well, we have Hillary Clinton, who's kind of playing into the people's disgust with politics, not transparent, not accountable, not very honest, playing by her own set of rules. So she's kind of emblematic of what has people angry about politics, and Trump is exploiting that. Trump is exploiting people's anger and disgust with politics.
And these two stories going at the same time, Chris.
Yeah, I didn't think of them together. Maybe people do. I think Trump is onto something when he talks about either we have a country or we don't, and the nationalism. I think that people who use phrases like undocumented workers are not really seriously concerned about illegal immigration. They find a better way of phrasing it rather than dealing with the problem. If you don't care about illegal immigration, fine, but if you do, Trump's the only one that seems to have a proposal, which, outrageous as it is, it's a proposal, and the others don't. They don't. And the polling we showed last night is overwhelming. The people trust the guy at least who has a proposal.
I want to ask you this, too. I've noticed from the very beginning of this Trump explosion, we've had a lot of people around our table. They were very skeptical of Trump, sort of dismissive of the people who followed him. From the beginning, you got Trump. And I'm wondering, is that your Philadelphia upbringing? No, I'm serious.
I know what you're getting at.
The people you grew up in the neighborhood, and you kind of like, I know what Republican's probably going to win at the end, because I always saw my dad sitting in his chair watching Cronkite and then watching the Republicans. You sensed from the beginning that this Trump thing wasn't a joke, that it may have been wrapped in some jokes, but that people were going to get it. What is it about Trump?
Well, actually, I hope I didn't say it here because I hate to repeat myself, but I worked as a Capitol cop as my first job in Washington. And I worked with a West Virginia guy, Leroy Taylor. And he was sort of a country boy, he was a double dipper. He'd been an MP in the military, like a lot of those cops were. And he took me aside as sort of like his protege college kid. And he said, "Do you know why the little man loves his country, Chris?" And I said, "No." He says, "Because it's all he's got. He doesn't have money, doesn't have a big house, doesn't have famous kids, doesn't have all this going for him. He's just got his country, his flag, and he feels, as he looks at the debt, he looks at the border, he looks at the way people treat citizenship as kind of like, well, you don't really have to have it to live here. He looks at jobs going overseas or jobs going to people here in the country illegally, and not him. He goes, well, who's looking out for my country? Yeah. That's all I got is my country." And I think, rightly or wrongly, I don't make moral judgments about most of this politics, this guy's gotten into, when he said either we have a country or we don't, it's not just about illegal people working here. It's about looking out for your country. The big shots in Washington, New York, they don't need their country. They got it, of course, it's part of their life, but they're not struggling and worrying about it every day. The working guy out there says, wait a minute, who's looking out for my country? Yeah. You know, and you can call it nasty, whatever you want, but the people that don't worry about it say, well, who cares about that stuff, or we need the workers here and all this. But, you know, he's worried about the one thing he's got is his country. And for whatever reason, Trump, up in his high gold tower with his beautiful wife and all his billions or whatever, he somehow talks like that guy.
Yes, he does.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Unlike a lot of us.
And Joe, Mika, those points that Chris and Ron are making is why there's a changing view of Trump inside the Clinton inner circle. As you know, the initial view was Trump is great. He gives us space. He distracts attention from Hillary's problem. He makes the Republicans look crazy. But now they're realizing that if America is mad and there's this huge anti-establishment wave in America, an anti-Washington wave in America, that's never going to be her. And that suddenly is a problem.
And look at this, Gene Robinson, Donald Trump down 25 points before, not so long ago, maybe even a month ago. Now he's within 6 of Hillary Clinton, doing better than Jeb Bush even against her. And we look at those numbers, I'll tell you what, there are a lot of independents in those numbers, I'm sure, without even looking at the crosstabs. There are a lot of people that are saying, wait a second, this may actually give me an alternative voting against a Clinton. I can vote against a Clinton and a Bush at the same time.
No, absolutely. And, you know, it's the same sort of feeling I got when Chris and I were in Cleveland and you were in Cleveland for the recent debate. And you know, you talk to the sort of Republican Party grandees who were walking through the streets and they were still dismissive and it was just, you know, it's going to be all over. He's going to look like an idiot. Ordinary folks were not dismissive at all. And it's this disconnect between Washington and out there. But if this campaign campaign devolves into, you know, Donald Trump and then a whole bunch of other people trying to sound like Donald Trump, then Donald Trump wins. I mean, the first time
Trump on the economy, Trump on the economy, 45-8. Trump on ISIS, 32-16.
Nobody who's going to out-Trump Trump. It's just not going to happen.
Okay, let's move on.
So
but you look at the economy, that 45-8 number, Mika.
Hey YouTube fans, I'm Luke Russer. Thanks for checking out our MSNBC channel. Subscribe by clicking right here and click any of the videos over here to watch the latest breaking news, mini documentaries, conversations from Shift, and other digital exclusives. Check it out.